Alright, in this video I'm going to do the second coolant change I've done on this 2013 Mazda 3. It takes FL22 and it should be stamped on your expansion tank, and I'll just take the cap off of the expansion tank now because you're going to need that off to drain the radiator. There is no rad cap on your 2013 Mazda 3 or the 2010 to 2013 for that matter. Now your first change on these vehicles should be done at 192,000 K, 120,000 miles or at 10 years, and then the next change should be done at 96,000 K, 60,000 miles, or 5 years. I was trying to figure out why they taped this one label on top of the other label, and this is a 55-45 pre-diluted mix, so it's not 50-50. Doesn't really matter. And the reason I have deduced that they have taped this label on top is that the taped label is bilingual, and the one behind it is just in English. So these are 4-liter jugs. I'm going to drain and fill it twice, so I have 2 of these 4-liter jugs. I've already taken off the bottom skirting, and it's just a series of 10mm, 8mm, and push-in fasteners. Pretty straightforward, although taking off the skirting underneath the vehicle is definitely the hardest part of this job. Now this only requires a Phillips head screwdriver, and the Phillips head screw is on the driver's side of the radiator, right at the bottom, and you can see me unscrewing it right here. Pretty much blindly unscrewing it, and I have found that the screw generally doesn't come all the way out. Perhaps if you had something to go in there and pry the screw out with, it would come out the entire way. But in my experience with this, all you have to do is loosen it up until you get a good stream of fluid flowing, and the screw's going to stay right there in place. And that is pretty much it. So this is the first drain, and what I do is I drain it, fill it, go for a drive, drain it, and fill it again. So no, it's not a perfect flush, but I'm going to pull out 8 liters and I'm going to put 8 new liters in, which should be sufficient. So before I tighten up the screw on the bottom, I'm just going to throw some fresh coolant right in the reservoir just to flush it out with some fresh coolant. You could take the entire reservoir off and wash it out, but it really doesn't look dirty inside, so I'm not going to waste my time with that. And before I fill it, obviously what I'm going to have to do is tighten the screw down. I have no torque spec on it, but it is just a plastic screw with a little rubber gasket on it. And once that's done, I'm going to fill the expansion tank until it goes up to that max level. And that really didn't put that much fluid in it, so it's definitely airlocked in there. So I'm going to go into the vehicle, start it up, and turn the heat on high. To help get rid of any airlocks, you can go and squish some of the radiator hoses. If your vehicle is running, this is probably not a great idea. Obviously the belt's running, and if the fan turns on, that could be problematic if your hands are in the engine bay. So don't do what I did, but I do find that squeezing the radiator hose can actually help get air out. I also get the RPMs up to about 2,000 for about 30 seconds, and then let it go back to idle. And then I just let the vehicle idle while I pour all of the old fluid into a container that I'm going to later take to a reuse center. After putting all the old fluid in a separate jug, I just go back and fill up that expansion tank appropriate level. After that, I go for a 20-minute drive to mix up all the new fluid. I then put my vehicle back on ramps and I drain off all the fluid one more time out of the radiator. Once again, a little bit less than 4 liters of fluid comes out. So like I said, I have found that one jug is good to do one drain and fill on the radiator. If you want to do 2 drain and fills, obviously just have 2 jugs. If you want to do more, you could do that. You could also use deionized water to run up the vehicle with. I usually don't do that just because I will then have to get the water to coolant ratio back. And I'm not entirely sure if Mazda sells this as a 100% mix or just the 55-45. So I don't bother with deionized water for this. So the last thing I'm going to do here is just add the coolant back up until that max fill level. And once again, I don't get a whole lot of fluid in, maybe 2.5, 3 liters. Likely because there's some airlock within the radiator. But once the coolant is to the max line, I go back into the car and turn on the car once again. Just like before, I got the heat on max. You can see that the vehicle is working the air bubbles out of the system, although it does go fairly slowly. Once I let the vehicle warm up, I then turned it off. What I did find is that the radiator fluid level goes down quite a bit once you turn the vehicle off as well. So now I'll just take the FL22 coolant and bring it up to the max fill line one more time. I do drive the vehicle about 100 kilometers and then I check the fluid level again. I add a little bit and then I'll do that again, maybe in a week or so. But other than that, very fast and easy to do. The hardest part of the job is just getting the plastic skirting off from underneath. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.